Well, thank you so much for being here. My name is Bonnie Negron, owner of Bonnie Career Services and the Career Shakeup community. And today I have a special guest who I'm so excited to speak with. One of our Career Shakeup members who has been on a journey in her job search that has had so many ups and downs, and in the end, an amazing story to tell. So I can't wait to tell that story today. Leticia, thank you so much for being here. Please
Thank you
introduce
so much
yourself.
for having me.
Yeah, it's great. Well, let's go ahead and tell everybody who's listening in right now, what were you doing before you reached out to me?
My career background is in higher education. I've been in higher education for roughly the last 14 years. And probably about November, December, I was starting to look outside of higher education. I knew that I wanted to change careers. I've earned my master's degrees while I was in higher ed, and I wanted to branch out and use more of the skills that I had learned. And I quickly found that the job search arena is so much different than when I initially started with higher ed, and it was quite overwhelming. So I think I found you sometime in January, late January or February, and we had our 30-minute consultation. And within that 30 minutes, you had already identified, oh, you could do this and you could do that, and you have these great skills. And I knew at that moment that it was a good fit. And if I wanted to change careers, I really needed the support of the experts.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, yeah, when we spoke, I mean, you were really open to anything. You had a few paths, but you didn't really know what would have been the best thing for you. And like an amazing job seeker and professional, what we should do is we should always do the research first, right? Before we make a jump. And, of course, you wanted to do all that research up front because you wanted this next move to be the right move, right? So tell me more about like what prompted you to like reach out for these type of services, and what were some of the things that you were trying to avoid in the job search?
Well, when you're looking to change careers, you don't know what you don't know. And all of those gaps were really working against me. Like I said, I had tried, I had done a resume and I was reaching out to companies in the fields that I thought I wanted to do, and it was crickets. And I knew that I wanted to change and I wanted to level up in my career. I am a single mom and I didn't want to change careers and then have to take a big pay cut. So that was another concern.
Right.
And again, once I met with you that first time and you told me about your program and the support with your team, and how you don't just talk about, oh, career, career, career. You also focused on, keeping you motivated and where you are and balancing everything out in your life so that you don't get burnt out during the search, and, all the right things that I needed. But mostly it was the help in identifying like what career paths I could be moving into where I could use the skills but not have to take a step back. So
Yeah.
for that, it paid for itself in the support.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you did land your dream role after working with us. So tell us about that career transition and what type of salary increase did you receive?
Well, it was a big change. In the university system, I was working in military affairs and compliance, and I loved working with veterans. I'm a veteran. I loved it, but I knew I wanted to, again, level up my career. So when we spoke, you and I met a few times to help me identify some paths, and ultimately it was in employee relations, mentorship, training and development. And I ended up getting a great position locally. I've been working remote, but I wanted to get back out there because I miss people, and it's the perfect position. I'm doing employee relations. I worked with the Department of Labor, prior to higher ed, so I'm doing workplace investigations and basically all the things that I've done in my career that I love, all wrapped up into one position. And I also got a 36%, I think it was 36% salary increase on top of it. So that
Yeah.
was like the cherry on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
And it
super
was the
excited.
exact position you wanted. I remember when you were telling me the news, you were like, Bonnie, it was the exact job that I wanted. So, and we tried different paths, right? We put it out there, we saw what worked, what didn't work. And then we were like, all right, more of this, please. Like, let's get you on that path. And yeah, it's an amazing. I mean, so now you're in a role like an HR business business partner doing all of those employee relations, and you switch industries too. Tell us about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was the biggest change, and where I was the most nervous is about changing industries, because again, something might be called this type of thing in higher ed, but it's called something different. So if you don't know what to look for, you miss so many great opportunities. And your team was with me every step of the way, and I can't thank you guys enough
Oh,
for
thank
making that
you.
huge difference.
Thank you so much. What was your favorite part of the program?
I have to say it was the coaching. I mean, you wouldn't think that that's so important. Once your documents, because you guys created a few resumes for me, the LinkedIn profile, and made everything look great. But behind the scenes, when, you're feeling a little defeated and you sent out a bunch of resumes and you're not getting a response, it was really great to have a team to go to, whether it was for emotional support and motivation, or like my meetings with you, where I was like, Bonnie, I'm not getting any response in this field. Can we maybe reevaluate some of the positions?
Right.
And after we had that second meeting to kind of look at some different job opportunities, I think I got this interview like 2 weeks after that. Like, it
Yeah.
was really quick once I got that little shift and on the right path.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. The job market right now, it's constantly shifting, if not weekly, daily. And as the market shifts and jobs shift, you have to switch your job search strategy. So this is like an exact example of how that works. How if you're sending out your resume to one type of role and it's not working, stop doing it. Let's figure out what else can be done. And yeah, you're getting ready to start major changes in your life, and you look so happy, and I really am so happy for you. Is there anything else that you would want to share about working with us?
I would say to anyone watching this, if you are thinking about changing careers or just leveling up your career, it really is worth the investment in yourself and in your career to work with someone like Bonnie and her team. There's just so many changes, with ATS and how interviews are handled. I mean, I had an email interview where they just sent me questions. It's all so different. And it really is such a huge part of the strategy and making those changes, is to have a team that's working with you and helping you along the way.
Yeah. And would you say that the knowledge and the skills and the teachings that you learned in this program, will they take you for like the rest of your career? I mean, have you learned life-changing things in this program?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, with the paperwork that you guys sent me at the beginning that has kind of self exploration questions, that really helps you identify the parts of your career that you enjoyed versus the things that you're like, if I never do that again, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right,
You know
right.
what I mean? And once I did all that paperwork, it was even a surprise to me, and then we did the disc report, and I was completely should be in a different field than what I was. I was very much in a facts and figures compliance field, where I needed to be somewhere a little bit more working with people and marketing and getting out there. And all of those steps that you guys put into place, all built on getting where I am now. And I will absolutely use that information going forward.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Leticia. Again, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations on this amazing journey that you have ahead of you. I mean, there's so much. You're a force, and you're going to continue to do amazing things. So, congratulations, and thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you, Bonnie, and thank your team again for me. You guys made a huge difference, and I'm going to forever be thankful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.